Do you ever find yourself eating when you're not physically hungry? Do you tell yourself that you may just eat your feelings away? And after you do, maybe you feel incredible guilt or shame at what you've just done, but you find yourself repeating the process over and over again, not knowing how or when to stop. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alice. I am a holistic weight loss coach with a background in management consulting and finance. On this channel, my husband and I put on our consulting hats, and we use our real life experience to teach, educate, and help people improve their lives. Let's get into it. In today's video, I want to give you my 5-step A.R.R.O.W framework on how you can address, stop, and overcome emotional eating for once and for all. Emotional eating is when we eat not to address physical hunger, but to solve an emotion or solve a problem. When we are feeling negatively, the brain wants to find a way to feel better and address that void. So what food does in the moment is that it gives our brain that dopamine hit to feel good. And understanding what you do, why you do, can help you shift that pattern to something else that addresses the void or addresses the comfort that you're seeking that is associated with the food. So here's the 5-step A.R.R.O.W framework. The A stands for acceptance. It's okay. The first thing that people associate with emotional eating is shame. And really, there's nothing to be ashamed of. When we are babies, we are given a bottle or put on the breast and given milk to stop crying. This is very much biological conditioning that starts at an early age. But remember, in your journey of acceptance, also understand that life does not happen to us, it happens for us. So remember that nobody is perfect. Life is a continuous journey of ebbs and flows, and it's a continuous journey of self-improvement. For you, it may be overeating, but for another person, it could be another negative activity that's associated with dopamine, such as gambling, social media. You guys know what the negative dopamine activities are. I don't have to spell them out for you. After acceptance comes root cause. And root cause is basically when you dig down a little further and understand why it is that you're doing what you're doing. I like to use something called the 7 layers of why activity in my coaching practice when I'm working with clients to help them dig deeper to understand why they do what they do. Sometimes you think you know what the cause is, but a lot of times the cause can also be a little bit blurry. Now, using food to address an emotion doesn't always have to be a negative reason. Emotional eating can also be for positive things as well. If you go to a wedding and someone gives you a piece of cake, you're not eating that cake because your body biologically needs it. You're eating it to celebrate. And so associating food with celebration can also be a form of emotional eating as well. Now, if you are finding this video helpful today, then I encourage you to apply to my new training called How to Lose Weight and Keep It Off Forever. There is an application process, and if you are accepted, then you will be invited to watch my private training. I will leave the registration links and the details in the description box below, so check that out if you are interested. The second R in the A.R.R.O.W framework is redirect. Redirect the source of emotion. Now, if you associate eating with a certain negative behavior, you want to break that pattern. Breaking patterns is something that I learned from my mentor, Tony Robbins, who uses NLP and neuroassociative conditioning to help people change their behaviors. And a lot of emotional eating is usually done to fulfill a need or to change an emotional state. And one technique you can leverage to break patterns is to associate it with something bad. And think about what it would really cost you if you lived a life continuing to emotionally eat. What is the worst outcome that could possibly happen? Now, understand that change is something that happens in the moment when you decide you want it to happen. But understanding what the worst case scenario would be can be a good monument for change. The O in the A.R.R.O.W technique stands for your own well-being and self-care. Make sure you do something for yourself every day that prioritizes your own mental, physical, and spiritual health. And I would encourage you to make it a non-negotiable, to give at least 30 minutes to yourself to do something that genuinely makes you happy on the inside, right? That genuinely keeps you busy, that keeps you inspired, keeps you motivated to keep going, something that prioritizes yourself. Make sure it is something that is not associated with food or your phone or your iPad or your Netflix show. The last step in the A.R.R.O.W framework, which stands for W, is a well-balanced emotional management system. This can mean a lot of things, and one of them is stress relief. So having a proper form of stress relief that isn't related to food, such as meditation, walking, or another way to say it as having some sort of activity to help you blow some steam. If you are more extroverted, maybe this means spending more time with other people to get your energy back. If you're more introverted, this means doing something for yourself. Whatever personality you have, make sure you have a proper method of stress relief. It's how you manage the stress and whether that stress ends up taking over your life and impacting your decisions and your emotions, that's when it's not so great. Another element to having a healthy emotional management system is proper sleep. When your sleep is poor, your ability to regulate your own emotions is completely impacted. I have many videos about improving sleep, circadian rhythm, and sleep quality, which I'll leave up top on the screen here as well as on the description box below. The next is to make sure you are having proper and adequate nutrition, right? Having proper nutrition is critical because processed foods, seed oils, sugars, and packaged chemically foods nowadays are intentionally designed to trigger more dopamine. And there's all this research done by food companies nowadays to make food hyper palatable so that it spikes your dopamine levels and it makes you want more and more and more, and they're so addictive by nature. And so really having a clean eating plan, a healthy, nutritious eating plan that eliminates those foods will train your brain slowly to not need to seek so much instant gratification from the dopamine spikes. So optimizing your health, making the right food decisions will make you feel better mentally and emotionally. The next is to make sure you are having healthy social interactions and relationships with other people. There's a reason why a lot of people experienced weight gain, right, during the events of 2020, when we all had to stay inside and we weren't allowed to socialize with anyone. So if you have friends that you can go do Pilates with or go to the gym with or go do hot yoga with or even go for a walk with around the park, whatever it is, making sure that you have healthy relationships with the people in your life is very key to a healthy emotional management system. Next thing is non-food rewards. Now, we all want to reward ourselves, right? We all work hard to put food on the table, to go to work, to take care of our families, to pay the bills. We want a reward for the effort in our life. And it is completely normal to want and seek some sort of reward and to treat ourselves. And most people are taught from a young age that food is a reward. But learning how to celebrate the wins in life with things other than food is also very important as well, right? So ask yourself, do you have a list of the ways that you can treat yourself that are non-food related, that genuinely make you happy? And lastly, you want to make sure that you are trying to actively train yourself out of the need for instant gratification. Hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. We as a society are built to be addicted to instant gratification, and everything in our surroundings fit this. But here's a mindset shift that may help you. Mastering delayed gratification is the secret to a happy life. The longer you can delay any form of gratification or your need for a reward for something is actually directionally proportionate to the quality of your life. So if you are someone that struggles with emotional eating, just understand that food is a vehicle. Food is just a vehicle that you're using to feed your need to fill a void or fill your need to feed that instant gratification. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. We just need to redirect that source so that instead of using food, it is another thing. One layer beneath that is to understand that it really does take work and self-discipline to snap out of the need for instant gratification. It's not something that happens overnight. It does require a lot of self-discipline and willpower, but it will make you a much happier person in the long run. If you enjoyed this video today, please give this a thumbs up. Don't forget to apply for my private training called How to Lose Weight and Keep It Off Forever. Again, registration links are in the description box below for more details. Let me know down in the comments below what points of this video resonated with you the most. Until next time.